Hello. What is going on, you all, on this Tuesday evening? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and we are here live for my final Raw review of 2020, and maybe one of my last streams for 2020. Now, originally I was going to do both my Raw review and my end of the year stream tonight, but my plans are still very up in the air for the rest of this week. But it's looking like I probably will be doing it maybe tomorrow. My thing is I want it to be my last video I do for the year. So since my plans are still up in the air, which will make a difference whether I'm off from work Thursday or not. As now it looks like I'm not off work on Thursday, unfortunately, just Friday. But I'm not gonna be doing the 2020 end of the year video tonight. I'll probably most likely do it tomorrow if I don't review AEW. Who knows? I don't know. Who knows what's gonna happen? So I'm gonna still just talk about Raw from last night. So first, as usual, as has been happening very consistently lately, I fell asleep during the last hour of Raw. Yeah, I fell asleep and woke up to Alexa Bliss just drowning herself in gasoline. We'll talk about that ending segment, of course. Yeah. Raw last night, maybe one or two things that caught my attention a little bit. Mainly the opening stuff with Drew McIntyre, I almost said Bruce Lee. Drew McIntyre, Keith Lee, and Sheamus. That stuff. The rest of the show, very forgettable. Smidge better than last week's show. But that's not saying much, because Raw is still just a laughingstock, skippable, and not worth talking about whatsoever at all. Maybe next week will be better. Oh, that's right. Next week is supposed to be better. You want to know why? Because the legends are showing up. The legends are showing up to get ratings. Well, guess what? This past Friday night on SmackDown, you didn't need legends to get the ratings, as you got 4 million viewers in the first hour on SmackDown. So when you actually try, you don't need legends to boost your ratings. I will laugh. I will actually laugh so hard if the legends showing up next week barely boost the ratings at all, because we're not stupid. We all know it's just a kiss-ass act, Vince, to get ratings. But let's talk about this episode of Raw. We'll start with the live chat. Mark's in there. What's up, Mark? I'm not too bad. Surviving the week so far. That was a bowl away for Raw to end. And, of course, Miz would get... Yeah. We'll talk about that. We're going to rant about that. We're going to rip that one apart. Oh, we're going to tear that one apart. And that's one thing I missed because I fell asleep. It's one thing I missed because I fell asleep. And why does Jeff always lose to Bobby? I have no idea why. But, of course, again, we will talk about it. Like I said again, I fell asleep during the last hour, so most likely I'm not going to be able to talk about the last hour too much. Except for, little bullet point proof points, whatever I'm trying to say, I got here. So the show opened up. First, we had a graphic for John Huber, of course, Brody Lee, or Luke Harper, of course, as he was known in WWE. That's the only graphic they showed. So they acknowledged it in some way, but, didn't acknowledge it as if, Pat Patterson or someone else, big like that passed away, even though, Luke Harper was a super duper underrated talent in WWE as well. Of course, rest in peace. Of course, tomorrow night on AEW Dynamite, it's going to be a show. It was originally supposed to be the New Year's Bash, whatever they're supposed to call it. They're going to postpone that till the following week, and next week's show is going to be this week's show is going to be all for the memory of Brody Lee, and I guess his son is going to be the one making the card. So we'll talk about that show, of course, tomorrow. That's how we opened up the show. And then we had Drew McIntyre come out, and the first thing he says is, well, it's Monday, you know what that means, which is basically referring to how, Brody Lee would always tweet, well, it's Monday, you know what that means, Or, well, it's Tuesday, you know what that means. His tweets, he was referring to, some guy named Larry. I remember he explained it in his Talk is Jericho podcast shortly after his AEW debut earlier this year. But I like how, they mentioned that. The other thing we noticed that was done was Ricochet, when in a match with Ricochet and Mustafa Ali. Ricochet did a discus clothesline in honor, of course, the finishing maneuver for Mr. Brody Lee himself. But he came out and said that, and McIntyre revealed that he's going to defend his WWE Championship next week at Legends Night against either Keith Lee or Sheamus. And of course, both Lee and Sheamus came out. They talked smack, basically, about how, oh my goodness, in our match next week, Sheamus, you promised to, keep it cool and not BS around or pull off any other crap. And, Lee's like, you promised me, Drew, you promised me, arguing over that. And then Sheamus booted Keith Lee. They had a solid match, Keith Lee and Sheamus, and kind of my surprise, Keith Lee won clean. He beat Sheamus clean, and he's going to be facing Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship next week. His first actual shot at the WWE title. I know, because he has faced McIntyre, once or twice when he first came up to the main roster, because he was originally, storyline-wise, going to be a replacement if Randy Orton was able to go in that ambulance match for back at Clash of Champions. Of course, we don't know what happened with that, Ruckus, but this is going to be his actual first WWE World Title shot. So I'm interested to see what exactly he's going to do with that. I'm not sure what's going to come out of that match, or if it's just going to set up. At some point, though, we are going to get a match with Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. So I don't know if that's just going to help set that up, or it's going to make this a triple threat at the Rumble, or if this is where Keith Lee turns heel, because they're boiling up a heel turn for Keith Lee. Because I know Vince really badly wants to make Keith Lee a heel, and I still don't think that's the best idea. I'm still not for it. I don't know why. I think it's because, it's Vince taking Keith Lee the way he wants it, rather than letting Keith Lee just be what he was in NXT on the main roster. Who the hell knows? But, we'll see where it goes. It's going to be an interesting match, though, next week. So, Keith won clean. I liked it. And we'll see what happens next week in that championship main event on Legends Night on Raw. So, we have that. Afterwards, we have this weird thing. Well, we had a match in between us, but we have Elias backstage with Jackson Riker. Again, I still don't get that pairing at all. And I still never understand Jackson Riker to this day. Basically, they were rehearsing the guitar thing, and then AJ Styles knocks down Elias' door and asks him to shut playing his guitar, but then Jackson Riker gets in his face, and then Elias insults him, and it sets up for a match later on between AJ Styles and Elias. Why? I didn't get it. They had a long match. Don't get why they gave Elias that long in the ring, and AJ won, so I don't know what the point of that match was at all, since it's supposed to be heel on heel. Who the heck knows? So that was weird. Oh, and then Grand Metalik defeated The Miz in a match. And I say that because we had something happen with The Miz later on in the show that made absolutely no sense. So that match was a complete throwaway filler. Grand Metalik versus The Miz, and Grand Metalik won. Shayna Baszler defeated Dana Brooke by submission. I thought at first Dana Brooke would get a sneaky one on Shayna Baszler. I'm like, if you dare, because she's been taking a ton of pins lately, if you dare have Shayna Baszler lose to Dana Brooke, we're gonna have problems here. Although that spinning neck breaker that Dana did cut on, that did hit on Shayna, I thought was pretty sick. I'll give her credit. I love that. Mandy though, Mandy Rose, she came out. She was at ringside during the match though. After Shayna got Dana to tap out, Shayna then chokes out Mandy. Here's my question: where's Nia Jax? Later on in the match, when Nia Jax had a match with Charlotte, Shayna came out. Why wasn't Nia out for this match? Who cares anyway? Because who wanted to see Nia Jax on live TV? Nia Jax we have all that mess. Then we have Alexa Bliss at Alexa's Playground. She's hinting at the Fiend's return, which is probably going to be next week. Who knows? Maybe he'll take out Hulk Hogan. Who knows? She tries to introduce Randy Orton, but both times his music plays, he does not come out. And then the Firefly Funhouse appears, and it's Randy Orton walking in, and basically he starts, trashing the whole set. Basically, he ripped off Rambling Rabbit's head. He kicked down Huskus Harris. He threw Mercy the Buzzer, whatever the heck it's called, at the Abigail puppet. He just, I thought he was going to burn down the Firefly Funhouse, but remember, Seth Rollins already burned it down there, which was dumb because a week later the Firefly Funhouse was back. So basically, he just starts questioning Alexis, why do you even think the Fiend is going to come back? But then Alexa Bliss challenges Randy Orton to a match. And I'm like, huh? And Orton accepts. He'll see her later on tonight. So I'm like, are we actually getting a match here? Or what the heck's going on? So we'll get to that shortly. Charlotte Flair was interviewed saying that she's ready to face Nia. However, Jax is to be feared. And then Asuka says Jax is not ready for Flair, something like that. And once again, no bubbly, no BFFs, and this is not Charlotte Flair. Very out of character for Charlotte Flair to be doing this. We have the AJ and Elias match. We didn't have Ricochet versus Mustafa Ali. Another match. And again, Ricochet loses, thanks to distractions from the rest of the members of Retribution. Although, a sixth spot was where Ricochet hit like a DDT on the apron on T-Bar. But then when Ricochet goes for a moonsault, Ali puts the knees up and puts him to like a Cobra clutch or a Koji clutch and gets Ricochet to pass out. So Ricochet again loses to another member of Retribution, even though it's Mustafa Ali, who actually I'm fine with him losing to, but of course Ricochet keeps losing. Now, keep this in mind. Apparently on Raw Talk last week, Ricochet cut this promo where he feels like something needs to change, got emotional. Something changed as in, get the hell out of WWE because you are being treated like shit there. So he cuts his promo basically where it's like, you're right, something doesn't need to change, but it's not with Retribution. Hits a recoil and gets out of the ring. So, what's he going to change now? God knows who knows what. I don't know. Ricochet is just in dead waters and dead ends, and he needs to leave when his contract expires soon in 2021. Nia Jax then tells Charlotte, oh my gosh, Charlotte's smart, I'm feared. And then she's the first person to announce her entrant into the Royal Rumble, the Women's Royal Rumble. And then Nia was like, Shayna was like, you know what, that's a good idea. So we have Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler in the Women's Royal Rumble match. If I was Shayna winning, Nia Jax though, never. And then Charlotte then defeated Nia Jax by disqualification because Shayna Baszler got involved. I still don't get why the hell we're protecting Nia Jax. Why are we protecting Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler is taking all her pins? Just why? Why can't it be the opposite? Why can't we protect Shayna Baszler and have Nia Jax take the pins? Just saying. Angel Garza cuts another promo, but it's up to now as of 2020 before R-Truth interrupts him and is being chased away by other buffoons, and I guess they run over his rose that he just hands to Charlie Caruso. We have that. The Hurt Business defeated the New Day and the Hardy Bros by Bobby Lashley submitting Jeff Hardy, and before the match, Riddle suggests names for their teams, which was weird, again, as I keep saying. So once again, Jeff Hardy takes another pinfall loss to Bobby Lashley. So what was the point of this match? Nothing new. even though, once again, I fell asleep during it. Here's my ranting point of the night. They're dumb as fuck, I'm sorry. So, I woke up to seeing a highlight about this, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I didn't believe it at first, but yeah, it happened. So remember earlier in this night when I said in this show when I said that Grand Metalik defeated The Miz? Yeah, I like Grand Metalik, except they're not making him feel relevant, of course. They could make him feel relevant. He's a freaking former runner-up in the awesome Cruiserweight Championship tournament. But, of course, that does not matter, because now the Cruiserweights are basically pretty irrelevant. They could be used good, they have some good talent, but, you know, we'll go down that path again someday. But anyways, so recently, The Miz made a claim like, oh my gosh, Almost is right. John Morrison cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase. Not me. I didn't cash it in. And like the referee announced that The Miz is cashing in his Money in the Bank contract. You basically agreed to it. But no. Oh my goodness. It's a swerve. Because this week, Adam Pearce walks past The Miz and John Morrison, sitting on the steps, says, you're right. John Morrison cashed this in. Not you, Miz. So you get your briefcase back. Let me get this straight. Because even though it was announced at the pay-per-view that The Miz cashed in his Money in the Bank contract, made it a triple threat match. He was considered in the match, but because John Morrison handed it over to the referee and not The Miz, then The Miz is still allowed to be Mr. Money in the Bank? Are you sick and tired of me seeing WWE constantly changing the rules and making it make no sense? You know, like, what's the point of this briefcase anymore? Seriously, when is the last time we've had someone good as Mr. Money in the Bank? Nobody! And no, Brock Lesnar to me was not Mr. Money in the Bank, because Brock Lesnar does not need money in the bank. It did nothing for Brock, did nothing for the briefcase, nothing for the championship. It did absolutely nothing except give Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar a rematch at SummerSlam. You didn't need the briefcase to do that last year, boys and girls. So we wasted it there. We could have done a good with Baron Corbin. That got wasted. Braun Strowman wasted. Otis wasted. And now Miz is getting it back because John Morrison, they're making him look more dumb as hell. Every week they're making Morrison look even stupider. It's just... it baffles me. And Miz is not even on the level he was 2 years ago to even be world champion. Like, what, you want to see Miz cash in on Drew McIntyre? No. Miz cashed in on Keith Lee? No. Like, who's gonna... what upcoming scenarios is gonna make you want to even see Miz have that briefcase? He's gonna fail it again? But, oh no, we can't... we're gonna have John Morrison keep cashing... How much more stupid can this get? Seriously, how much more dumb is this? This is one... that's so dumb. It's absolutely so dumb that they're giving The Miz back the briefcase, even though it was announced that The Miz is cashing in because John Morrison handed the... I'm done. I'm done hurting my brain cells. I'm done trying to figure out their logic. There is no logic. We ended the show with Alexa Bliss coming out for a match with Randy Orton. But instead, she just gives Orton a gift. Turns out to be a box of matches and gasoline. And she asks for Orton to burn her like he did with The Fiend. But he refuses. Bliss calls Orton a bitch before just pouring a gasoline all over top of her. Tells her he wants to do it as he enjoys watching people in pain. And Orton is staring her down. The Fiend's interruption starts, shuts off the light. Lights come back on. And it looks like, and Orton has the match lit, and it looks like he's about to set Alexa on fire, but we go off the air. So, did he burn Alexa Bliss? Did he not burn Alexa Bliss? Is Alexa Bliss Joan of Arc? Or what do you want to call her now? I don't know. So, I don't know what this is. Still think the Fiend's going to come back next week, probably attack a legend. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, that was Raw, guys. Again, a couple little things I liked. Stuff with Orton and the fire is getting wonky, but strange. I like the stuff with Keith Lee, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre. I hated the stuff with The Miz getting back his briefcase. Other than that, the show was whatever. C- for me. Hopefully next week I will start back up doing polls again on Twitter or whatnot. Again, as for the rest of the week, my plans are just so up in the air. Well, I definitely have one Harry Potter Let's Play coming. Well, the next part of my Harry Potter Let's Play, I definitely have that one coming. After that, though, I don't know. Again, like, my plans are so up in the air. I'm supposed to be going and visiting my sister this weekend for New Year's. But because I don't know yet if I'm going to be off work on Thursday or not, I'm definitely off Friday, but I don't know about Thursday yet. So because of that, I have no clue, again, what my plans are. Again, my biggest thing is, again, I want my my end of the year stream to be my last video for the year, of course, where I talk about the channel, talk about my personal goals for 2021, all that jazz. So, we'll see what happens. Again, my plans are up in the air. I may review AEW tomorrow night. I'm not sure, but I'm definitely watching AEW tomorrow night. But again, I'm going to be getting up earlier tomorrow because I have to go to the dentist. So, who knows what my plans are going to be. So, yeah, that's going to do it for this review, guys. Check the live chat before I go off the air. What do we got? Tyler did not watch Raw. Good idea. He didn't give it a grade. Mark gave it no grade for this Raw because it sucked. It did. Orton's a murder. AJ needs a face turn because Nia is family with Roman and The Rock that way. Just retired a Money in the Bank pay-per-view for sure. I missed 2018 Miz. Me too. Don't forget last year when dual cash in for Extreme Rules. Not sure. Happy New Year as well, Mark. Worst pay-per-view for 2020 Extreme Rules, and the best was the Royal Rumble. I could probably agree with that. That probably were my best pay-per-views. And the worst one probably as well. Survivor Series was up there. Survivor Series, definitely one of them. Extreme Rules for sure. Yeah, probably those for sure. Best one, Rumble. TakeOver Portland was awesome. But of course, I'll talk about some of like my best of 2020 streams that I'm going to try to do in January when I have more time. Work is finally starting to slow down, even though all the problems are still around. But yeah. So we'll definitely discuss those some other time as well. But yeah, tomorrow, either a Dynamite stream or, depends on what's going on, I may do my 2020 end of the year stream, because if I am leaving to go visit my sister on Thursday morning, which as now it's probably going to be Friday, if I am leaving Thursday though, then I will do it tomorrow night, because I'm not going to have any time while I'm down there, unless I do something over the weekend at night, because I'll probably have Wi-Fi. Who knows? So either way, we'll see what happens. So guys, that's my Raw review. Last Raw review of the year. What are your thoughts? I gave it a C-. Crummy show. Leave that down in the comment section below. Be sure as always to slap a like on the video. Subscribe or comment my channel. Follow me on Twitter at TheManAir93. Until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll see you all later. Have a great night. And I'll see you guys in my next video, whatever that may be. So until then, guys, peace out, everybody.